Hey, all my Scorpio friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer, angel therapy practitioner, Reiki master, and empowerment coach. And I'm here today with your February 2023 monthly horoscope. These horoscopes are based on whole sign Western astrology. So I'm talking about Scorpio rising. If you don't know your rising sign, you can go to any one of the free birth calculators on the internet. You just need your exact time of birth and location in order to determine what your rising sign is. So let's jump right in. February, I'm going to start with February 4th, because I think this is when things start to, for me, get interesting. We have the moon at 6 degrees Leo, making a trine to Jupiter at 6 degrees Aries. This is an exact trine for you, Scorpio. Leo is your 10th house of career, public image. It's the highest house, meaning the most visible house in the zodiac, and it is making a favorable, expansive aspect to Jupiter in your house of work, the 6th house. It also, the sixth house also has to do with health. And here I want to say that this could be where you start to feel less stress about work and start to feel more inspired, a renewed sense of passion and of motivation is the way I want to put it. I also want to offer this. There's construction on my street right now, so I apologize if I'm a little choppy, and I'm hoping that you can't hear it because it's never ending. Okay, so we also have on the 4th of February, Venus at 10 degrees Pisces in your 5th house, making a square to Mars at 11 degrees in Gemini in your 8th house. Venus rules our self-worth. She rules our relationships, our sense of beauty, our voice. She rules food. She rules comfort. She rules our family history. Now we see Pisces being your 5th house. That's the house of ancestors, meaning Pisces rules ancestors. Pisces rules where we imagine and we dream and we create. Pisces rules dance, it rules poetry, it rules fantasy and filmography and photography. So here I feel as if there is an opportunity, even though there's a square to Mars, I feel like because of the way the moon in Leo in your 10th house and Jupiter trining it in your 6th house, that you have an opportunity to start to really birth some of your more creative ideas and even potentially transform those creative ideas into avenues for income. You know, many people make money filming their lives on TikTok or on Instagram and here on YouTube. So what I want to offer is your 5th house represents children. It represents your self-expression, your entertainment, it's the place where fun things happen. It has romance here. Now, squaring Mars at the 11th degree in Gemini, your 8th house, makes me start to think that this square is asking you to be brave about, meaning Mars. The 11th degree is not only the Aquarian degree, but 11 is the master number of thought. So this is about liberating yourself from any monkey mind thoughts. And I say monkey mind thoughts because when we get into our everyday activities, sometimes, you know, running our errands, getting to and fro to work, dealing with traffic, dealing with bills, and the idea of living, we can get caught up in old unconscious thought patterns and behaviors that are really manifesting within our life. So when we infuse a little bit of consciousness, because with Venus at the 10th degree, here we see that 1 again, indicating my thoughts. And the 10th degree is an opportunity to build because it's the Capricorn degree. And this is about building things that are important to you and allowing yourself to use the ancestral imprint that every human on this earth has as a point of awareness, an opportunity to really look at the deeper psychology of how you manifest. Scorpio is the most powerful, rich, intuitive sign on the planet, because it not only has the water element to support its intuition, but it also has that detective's mind, that deep psychological imprint that can see, the dark spots in the human experience. So now, on the same day, the 4th of February, we have Uranus at 15 degrees Taurus in your 7th house, making a square to the sun at 15 degrees Aquarius in your 4th house. The 15th degree is the Gemini degree. So here we're looking again at this air element. How am I thinking? What am I thinking? And at the 15th degree, for me, this is really, sort of that midpoint in my evolution, when I have an awareness of what I want to experience, and I have an awareness that my thoughts are important, and I have an awareness of either other people's power and influence over me that's out of balance, or my power and influence over them that's out of balance, and this new evolved version of what I want to manifest, and my willingness to be accountable for that which I am focused on. So this is a very liberating day, as it has a lot of aspects that favor the uncomfortable juncture in the road when we are aware enough to see our past, see our present, and have to make a choice, because we know the choice for the present takes us into our future. Okay, now we go on to the 9th of February, where Mercury is at 28 degrees, Pluto is at 28 degrees, making an exact conjunction in Capricorn, which is your 3rd house. This is the house of work. And in Capricorn, it gives Scorpio an opportunity to really build, because Mercury is the natural ruler of the 3rd house. But here, what we're seeing is the 28 reduces down to a 10. The 10, again, now I'm seeing this common denominator of these ones coming through. How am I thinking? What am I thinking? And how am I going to process my participation within my life? Because that's what Pluto is asking for. Pluto is your natural ruler. Pluto is, Pluto's the profiler on those crime shows. Pluto is, the one that looks like the bumbling detective that doesn't get anything and yet notices everything. Now we take the idea that Mercury grabs bits of pieces of information and then dispenses them around the zodiac. So Pluto in this conjunction is saying, Mercury, stop for a minute. Take conscious thought. What kind of information are you absorbing? Is that information taking you where you want to go, or is it stoking an unconscious fear within you that may be paralyzing you? It's super, super powerful and very transformational energy. Now, I forgot to say one thing. On the 5th of February, there'll be a full moon in Leo. I will be doing a separate video on that. So look for that a little bit later. On February 11th, Mercury will move into Aquarius, your 4th house. And I think this is really going to give you an opportunity to have sort of step into an energy of Gemini and Aquarius. Unlike Libra, while they're all air signs, Gemini and Aquarius have a cooperation in that they are both thinkers. But Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is the genius mind, the mind that can think so far out of the box that human beings are like, what? I don't get it. So here in your 4th house, Scorpio, I think Mercury moving into Aquarius for this next 3 weeks or so is going to give you an opportunity to liberate yourself from some of the historic patterns and thoughts that may have been a little tethering or felt a little bit as if they were anchoring you into a category that you've evolved past. So your awareness of the transformation makes that transformation smoother. On the 15th of February, we have Venus and Neptune making an exact conjunction at 24 degrees in your 5th house. This feels very, very dreamy to me. At the same time, it's making a square to the moon at 25 degrees Sagittarius in your 2nd house. But I don't know if I think that the moon square is as powerful as the conjunction, because Venus loves to be in Pisces and Neptune is the natural ruler of Pisces, both at the Piscean degree. This feels super creative, very imaginative. I'm not really feeling the I mean, the square could indicate feeling a little bit out of sorts, I'll say. But I think if we look at the higher vibration, I think that this is really Venus and Neptune coming together in the house of creation and self-expression in a way that's super beautiful. And I think that the moon square is an intuitive knowing that I get to stretch my voice and my creativity and my skills in ways that makes me slightly more vulnerable to my audience, because the fifth house has an audience and the second house rules my skills, but they're still not honed those skills. It's naturally ruled by Venus, the second house, as it represents Taurus. And this is really where we're going from, the discovery of the soul within the human apparatus and how that works. And we haven't quite taken it out into the public eye when we're in the second house. So that's why I feel like there could be some trepidation, some internal sort of churning. Will people like me? Won't they like me? And it doesn't mean you're birthing it that day, but as you birth that creativity, Neptune and the 12th house of Pisces, is just such an amazingly dreamy, empathetic. It's a very, very, on its highest vibration, it's the kind of thing where you have creative genius. That's the way I want to put it. So I think being brave, and if anybody could be brave, man, I think it's Scorpio, okay, because you're co-ruled by Mars. All right. On the 18th of February, the sun will move into Pisces, your fifth house, and Venus and Neptune will still be hanging out there. They won't be close, the sun, but we have action going on there. And we have a new moon on the 19th. I'll be doing a separate video on that in Pisces. And that's super important because we've had a series of full moons and new moons at degrees that are indicating more integral layers to what is happening in our transformation as a human race. On the 20th, Venus will get feisty as she enters Aries. That's your sixth house. So you may be willing on some level, whatever you have birthed or given life to it within your imagination in the fifth house, now you may be taking that into the workplace. You could potentially be starting a creative endeavor of some kind or something that's authentic to you and who you are, in addition to your day job. I think this is super exciting because we have very transformational energy and potential for great wealth happening in the sixth house for you right now, because as Venus becomes closer and closer to Jupiter transiting Aries, and it will be doing that until May. And then we have Chiron in Aries as well. So by the 25th of February, Venus is at 7 degrees Aries, Jupiter is at 11 degrees Aries, and Chiron is at 13 degrees Aries, all in your sixth house of employment or being the employer. I believe that Venus representing money, Jupiter representing wealth and expansion and good luck and benefit, and Chiron in its highest vibration representing the wound transformed into a gift. The 7th degree, and we are in a 7-year numerology-wise here, is about introspection. It's about sort of taking the emotional dynamic out, being more Libra balanced in air, in being fair, and looking at how we are transforming, how we are evolving. And this is taking me to Jupiter at 11 degrees. We've been talking about these ones representing our thoughts. Our thoughts are things. If you've ever seen The Secret, it is absolutely based on thought, period. If you believe it, you'll see it. If you want to see it to believe it, it's not going to happen. So here we see Venus starting to transform her ability to make money, to look over where she's been and say, you know what? I'm in Aries. I feel feisty and brave right now. And Jupiter's like, let's expand on that. And now Chiron at the 13th degree of Aries in Aries gives you an opportunity to be courageous in this, to look at yourself as a peaceful warrior, yet an intentional and accountable warrior. Oftentimes when I listen to other astrologers, they really take a dark side to Mars and to Aries in general. And yet I believe that our military, when we establish military organizations, they are to go, at least in my country, I was raised on the idea that the military are heroes. They're going in and they're trying to do good things. So we always have polarity on all sides of all aspects and energies. And here we have an opportunity to really tap into the hero's energy with Chiron at the 13th degree of Aries. Now we round off the month with Mercury at 27 degrees, making a conjunction to Saturn at 29 degrees Aquarius. This is where Mercury has really, like we started the month thinking about certain things and being aware of our thought process, starting to be able to delineate between those imprinted thoughts that come up unconsciously and like a knee-jerk reaction. And now this Aquarian energy has given me an opportunity to be more aware of it and stretch myself into unknown territories. And when I say that, I think about like as if I'm traveling into space, because I'm going into spaces in my mind within the collective consciousness and within the universe, and I'm tapping in ways that are not really of a normal human structure. I'm allowing my mercurial monkey mind, those unconscious everyday human, pitter-patter structures, to come to a culmination. The 27 is a 9. It is the culmination of a cycle. It's also the Gemini degree. And then conjunct Saturn at the anaretic degree of mastery. 29 reduces down to an 11 in Aquarius, the natural 11th house, but here it is your 4th house. So Scorpio, I think you have an opportunity to reconcile your family dynamic, your childhood, what imprint it has left on you. And in doing so, rather than trying to release it or let it go, you're finding the tools that it's given you in order to become the powerful creator that you are. And you, of all the signs, have the ability to create billions and billions of dollars, let alone resources. So I think it's a really wonderful time. We've got an accelerated energy going on as all the planets are moving forward. And we won't see a retrograde until about May, I think, when Pluto goes retrograde, but I forgot to put that date down in my notes. So we'll figure that out when we get there. But anyway, that's it for me, Scorpio. Enjoy your February. It's going to be a good month. I will see you soon. Peace out.